Good combination of fats, protein, some carbohydrates. A great source of vitamin A, great source of potassium. So I'd rather do what the guy that's gonna live to be 100 is doing rather than following the guy filling up his cart with honey buns and Mountain Dew. Hey guys, what's going on? So I get a lot of exercise related questions, but I also get a lot of food related questions. So what I did today was I made up a list of foods. It's actually a list of 10 foods that, to be honest, make up the vast majority of my diet. I eat some combination of these foods pretty much every single day. I don't deviate too much. I'm a creature of habit, like I've mentioned before in other videos. So we'll go through the list, but before we do, I just want to reiterate something that I've mentioned in other videos before when it comes to food. So all foods are going to be made up of some combination of these three macronutrients, which are fat, protein, and carbohydrates. The human body needs fat, the human body needs protein, the human body doesn't need carbohydrates. We don't need to eat carbohydrates. That doesn't mean they're all inherently bad or they're all inherently unhealthy. It's just ironic that the food companies push on us this diet, the standard American diet, which is extremely toxic, extremely unhealthy, and it's made up of upwards of 60 to 65% carbohydrates, and very unhealthy carbohydrates, processed, ultra-processed foods. So I just want you to keep that in mind, and let's get going through the list. So number one on my list is meat. I eat meat very often. I eat red meat, I eat pork, and I eat chicken. I don't eat skinless, boneless chicken breast. I like the darker cuts of chicken. I usually go for boneless chicken thighs. I try to get grass-fed when I can. I try to buy brands that claim not to use antibiotics or hormones, but even at the end of the day, any store-bought piece of meat that I get and bring home and grill up myself or throw in the air fryer and season up how I see fit is going to be 1,000 times healthier than me going to any fast food restaurant or worse, buying a piece of meat off a truck on a corner on a city street. Number two on my list is eggs. If I had to come up with the perfect food, I would definitely say eggs. They're a perfect combination of healthy fats, protein. People think they're doing themselves a favor or doing something healthy by throwing away the yolk and just eating the white. That's definitely not the case. All this hysteria about fat, and especially when it comes to eggs, everybody just spits out the same line that, cholesterol, there's so much cholesterol in eggs, it's going to give you a heart attack. That's complete and utter nonsense. It's nothing based in science. It's just something perpetrated by the food companies that are trying to get you to steer away from eggs and, buy corn flakes and instant oatmeal. Number three on my list is sardines. I've mentioned sardines plenty of times before. I even made a video with a couple of my favorite sardine recipes. I eat them very often. Sardines are a great source of protein, a great source of healthy fats, omega-3 fatty acids, which again the body needs for a lot of reasons. And on the top of that list would probably be brain function and things like joint health. So a very healthy fish to eat. It's a smaller fish with a shorter lifespan, so the mercury concentration in a fish like sardines is going to be much lower than the larger fish, say like tuna fish. Number four on my list is nuts. I eat walnuts, I eat pecans, macadamia nuts, sometimes pistachios. I think any type of nut, hazelnuts are good combination of fats, protein, some carbohydrates. You just want to get plain. If you want to salt them up yourself, but you never want to get anything that says honey roasted or anything like that, because that just means it's just doused in sugar. Number five on my list, full-fat Greek yogurt. Full-fat Greek yogurt is a good combination of protein and fat. There is some sugar in it, lactose, which is the milk sugar. Some people have a sensitivity to that. Back in the day when I did drink a lot of milk, I had some issues with it. I would get some gastric issues when it came to drinking the milk. I don't have those same issues when it comes to yogurt. But what I find bizarre is that people will, people eat ice cream and, they may drink milk and they have all these gastric issues going on from it. And they'll try to force the issue and they're taking enzymes and lactate and all these pills just to be able to, eat the ice cream or drink the milk. If it's that much of an issue in your body's telling you something, just don't eat it. Don't force the issue. Any type of food that you have an issue with, there's always something else you can replace it with. So just cut your losses and move on. Now, like I mentioned, I always buy full fat yogurt. I don't buy anything low fat or no fat. The milk comes out of the cow loaded with fat. That's the way I eat it. The assholes at the food companies will strip away the fat and have you believe that they're saving you from having a heart attack, when in reality what they do is they pull out the healthy fat and then they insert sugar, artificial sweeteners, chemicals, artificial flavors, which are the things that are really causing the heart attacks. Number 6 on my list, kimchi and sauerkraut. I mix them together. I eat them pretty much every day. Great probiotics. They help keep your gut microbiome healthy, which is where 80% of your immune system lives. So it behooves us to try and keep that as healthy as possible. Especially, I mentioned before about the standard American diet, which is loaded with sugar, artificial sweeteners, toxic seed oils. When you think about all the antibiotics we take from when we're kids, you know, every time you have a sniffle, you go to the doctor and he's throwing you on amoxicillin or something. All of which helps to harm and destroy your gut microbiome. So you want to incorporate foods that are going to help build that back up, that are good probiotics, and kimchi and sauerkraut are on the top of the list. Number 7 on my list, sweet potatoes. Love sweet potatoes. I have probably one a day, sometimes I'll have 2. A great source of vitamin A, great source of potassium, a little bit of fiber in there, and I just love the way they taste. I just did a video about the whole Gatorade scam and you know, people replacing electrolytes, one of which is potassium. You'd be much better off, you know, having a sweet potato rather than guzzling down a quart of Gatorade to get your electrolytes. So again, sweet potatoes definitely high on my list. Number 8 on my list is organic virgin coconut oil. This stuff is great. It's the next best thing to mother's milk as far as I'm concerned. I actually do put it on my sweet potato when I eat my sweet potato. You know, the skunks at the food companies will have you believe it's a saturated fat and it's an instant heart attack if you eat it. Again, no basis in science. It's just a myth pushed by them to keep you buying the toxic seed oils from them, the corn oil, the soybean oil, the canola oil. Coconut oil is definitely the way to go. Number 9 on my list is actually a drink. It's not a food, it's green tea. I drink at least 2 cups a day of the green tea. Has a lot of polyphenols, antioxidants in it. It also has the amino acid L-theanine, which for people that have a sensitivity to caffeine and maybe get the jitters, the L-theanine actually negates the jitters from the caffeine. And you know, there's too many purported health benefits to green tea that, you know, I don't want to pass up. If you read about the Okinawans, the Japanese that live off the coast of Japan, who have one of the longest life expectancies in the world. Actually, it's going down because they're becoming more and more westernized and they're being introduced more and more to the standard American diet, which is a travesty. But you know, you have a large percentage of these people are living to be 100 years old. So I'd rather do what the guy that's going to live to be 100 is doing, rather than following the guy in Walmart who's 60 years old, tooling around in an electric cart because he can't walk, taking 6 medications a day, and filling up his cart with honey buns and Mountain Dew. And number 10 on my list, I'm going to list together, is actually just fruits and vegetables. When it comes to fruits, I stick to the low sugar fruit, which is going to be any type of berry, strawberry, blackberry, raspberry, and blueberries. And then when it comes to vegetables, I'm mainly with the mushrooms, onions, cucumbers, tomatoes, and avocado. Side note, the avocado, tomatoes, and cucumber are actually classified as fruits, but we'll call them vegetables for the sake of this video. So that's really about it. That's my list of 10. Again, that makes up the vast majority of my diet. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I doing well? Am I missing something? Do I have something on there I should take off? I'd be interested to know your take on it. As always, appreciate you guys watching. Get your reps in today, and I will talk to you in the next one. Thanks, guys.